There's this mysterious place in North Hollywood called the Forgotten Video Store. It's a movie rental place, but all their videos are bootlegs of unreleased, lost, or otherwise impossible to find movies. And on this podcast, we go to the Forgotten Video Store and rent one of their movies and then share it with the world. I'm your host, David Murto, aka Daddy Big Cup. And my guest this week is a fucking good comedian who hosts the beloved stand-up show Solid at the Upright Citizens Brigade in LA on Tuesday nights. She's also written for a bunch of popular shows that start with the letter S, like SNL, SpongeBob, and Shrill, which is where I met her. Who is this person? It's Clare O'Kane!
What up?
Claire, thanks so much for going to the video store with me.
Thanks for having me. I love the Valley.
The Valley's the best. We got Chaim. We got P.T. Anderson. We got Circus Liquors.
Yep.
We got the one bar that looks like a big barrel.
I love the Big Barrel Bar, and it's actually not as fun as you'd think going in there.
Disagree. I think it's so fun.
You think it's fun?
You get to pretend you're like a little mouse or something, like rolling around in a barrel.
Yeah, that's true. I went once during the day, and it was pretty bleak.
Well, don't go to a bar during the day.
I was dating an alcoholic.
Oh, fine.
These were the things we did.
All right. Well, that's cool. Claire, you picked a real interesting movie called Hell is for Real. It's a religious drama from 2014.
It was one of those movies that came out and you're like, okay, this looks like vaguely like too religious. Like this was funded by whoever owns like the Walmart company.
Right,
you know,
yeah.
That
it's like you
situation.
see Angel Studios now is the one who has like all these religious style movies. But this is like a kind of the poorer man's Angel Studios.
Yeah, exactly. With a sort of an evil twist. I saw that Rob Zombie was an executive producer on this, which was really interesting.
Oh, cool. Rob Zombie's an interesting guy because he like did music and then started doing movies, and he's exactly as good at making movies as he is at making music.
Yeah, which is so rare. Mm-hmm. It's so rare. Like Dog Star, Keanu Reeves' band. And Keanu Reeves, he's about as good as acting as he is in the band Dog Star. Mm-hmm. And that's another, so maybe it's not as rare, but that's sort of, it's in the same vein.
On the opposite end of the spectrum, David Bowie was quite good at both acting and singing.
What did he act in?
Oh, there's this awesome movie called The Man Who Fell to Earth, where he plays an alien. Oh, Labyrinth. You've seen Labyrinth, right?
Oh, yeah, he is good in that too. Like the Babe. Something like the Babe. That was good when he did that. Forget I said anything.
Speaking of people who weren't actors, who started out doing something else and then became actors, this movie stars Spencer Pratt, who was like the reality show villain on The Hills, right?
Yeah.
He kind of, after he was in reality shows, he was kind of looking for like, what's something else I can do to keep my face out there? And he tried acting for a while, and that really didn't work out. He tried politics recently. He ran for mayor and as a Republican. And in the proud Republican tradition, when he got his ass handed to him, he very, with a lot of grace and dignity, he talked the loss and he was a really good sport about it. So it's him. He's playing the dad. And then there's also Ashley Simpson, who's really great. Talking of SNL, her SNL appearance is one of the all-timers. I watch that every now and again.
I can't watch people embarrass themselves. It really hurts to watch. So you
have nothing in common with any of your stand-up audiences.
No, I really don't. Damn, I got burned.
So they're like, Spencer Pratt's the dad, Ashley Simpson's the mom, and they have a son, name of Connor Barfo. And he's like 4 years old in the movie.
Barfo. And I wonder what sort of ethnicity, like what part of Europe the Barfos.
Probably from. Italian.
Barfo. Yeah, I think you're right.
And this is based on a real family. I didn't do too much looking into it, but this is based on like something that really happened. There is a real Connor Barfo out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we get to know this family, and Spencer Pratt's like, he's a pastor at like some sort of like Baptist or whatever, one of the flavors of Christianity, one of those churches. And Ashley Simpson is his doting trad wife.
Definitely stay-at-home mom vibe.
Yeah, because in the opening credits, remember, she's teaching Connor Barfo how to make like like juice popsicles. Remember, you ever do this when you were a kid? And so like they pour orange juice into one and like grape juice into the other and everything, and they put the little popsicle sticks in and you freeze them, and it's a nice cool treat. So she shows him how to do that in the first scene,
and he likes it, and of course, you know, she walks away for just like a minute.
Yeah,
he's sort of looking around, 4-year-old, pawing at things, and he finds the glue, your classic white goopy glue.
Yeah,
he puts it in one of the molds for the popsicles
with some like popcorn and like chocolates and stuff. It's a pretty good idea, actually. He's gonna make like
it's a really good idea,
like a really good like multi-flavored popsicle. But when you're 4 years old, I don't know, are you supposed to eat glue?
You're supposed to eat like a little bit of it. You know how they say like it's good when kids eat a little bit of dirt because it sort of prevents them from
immune system.
Yeah, dirt diseases or whatever.
I should have eaten more dirt. My kid is constantly bringing shit home, like little illnesses and stuff home from school. And he'll get sick for like an afternoon and then be fine the next day. And then I'll get it and be sick. I'll be like out for a week. It sucks.
Yeah.
So this is one of my many beefs with my son.
Put him in a bubble.
Oh, like Jake Gyllenhaal. Remember that movie?
Yep.
But that's not what happens in this movie. In this movie, Connor Barfo, like the next day or whatever, Sunday. So like Spencer Pratt's like, oh, get in the minivan. We're going to church. Connor Barfo's like, I can't go to church today. I'm too sick. And we know, because we're not stupid, like, oh, he's faking it. He just wants to get out of going to church or whatever. And so, but Ashley Simpson's like, I'll stay home with him. But she goes and she's like doing her sewing and stuff, like her knitting, boring shit that preachers' wives like to do.
She is like, she's trying to find her thing. You could tell like she was doing like sand art for a while. Like in the background, there's all these like bottles filled with like colorful sand. And then, so you could tell like now she's like knitting booties for dogs, which I didn't see a dog in this movie. Did you?
No. It's tough to work with animals.
I think maybe it wasn't in the budget.
But anyway, so she's going and she's doing her knitting, Ashley Simpson is, and Connor Barfo goes and you know he's heading straight for that glue popsicle. And as soon as the glue like is in his mouth and like warms up enough, it becomes gluey again. Kind of fills his whole windpipe, which that part is not safe.
That was a crazy shot. That was like
inside his throat. It was
like inside his throat. It was kind of like that one Gaspar Noé movie where the guy
where you see inside a vagina.
You see inside a vagina and the sperm sort of swimming through. We saw inside Connor Barfo's throat as the glue bound his throat together. That was really gnarly. And like totally a different style of what maybe that was like a Rob Zombie input.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, we need to see a little something fucked up. This is where we get to the good stuff. Okay, so Connor's mom is like not really paying attention. She's making these little booties for dogs, and then she drops one of her needles, and it's sort of like a slow motion, really beautiful shot, slow motion drop. With the needle bouncing off the tile floor, and then we see slow motion Connor like choke, like putting the classic international sign of I'm choking, hands over throat. She looks over, sees him choking. It's all very dramatic.
It's a like beautiful Christian contemporary music over the following shots of the paramedics arriving and like loading him up on the fucking gurney and the ambulance going and at the hospital. And like there's a moment where he's hooked up to all the shit, you know, and it's like he's like he's flatlining and everything, and the doctors are there but anyway, like he's recovering. Spencer Pratt is there and Ashley Simpson's there as he's like opening his eyes again. Mom, Dad, and he goes, Dad, you have to take a shit. And Spencer Pratt's like, what?
How did he know that?
Ashley Simpson's like, what is he talking about? Spencer Pratt's like, it's true, I do have to take a shit. I'll be right back. Then over the course of the following days, like his grandparents come to see him, and whenever anyone needs to take a shit, this kid knows right away. And then there's a cool sequence where he's like gaining fame for it. He's on Wendy Williams, and he's like pointing at the different people in the audience like, you have to take a shit. You have to take a shit.
And she's like, stand up if he pointed at you, and that's true, you do have to take a shit. And they stand up, and she's like, what? It was like crazy. That's so cool they got Wendy Williams.
Yeah, awesome.
But the doctors can't figure out what's going on. Like, no one has this sort of sixth sense. They're just like, how did this happen? Connor starts like drawing these pictures.
And it's like that classic thing where it's like in movies that you see where it's like, quote, kids drawing. And it's like clearly like someone who's been to art school has made this.
Yeah, there's like way too much shading.
The perspective,
like
the vanishing point is really good.
And so there are like these really great pictures of seemingly sort of like Dante's Inferno scenes, or these classic scenes. Of course, Spencer Pratt being the preacher of whatever sect of Christianity is like, this is messed up. What's going on? Like, Connor Barfow never had, first of all, a creative bone in his body.
Right.
Now he can smell people needing to shit. And he's really good at drawing, but only really freaky scenes of what we see as hell, what we think is hell.
And he goes, that's my friend. They're like, what? Who's your friend? That's my friend. And points to like this big, like hideous throne that's made out of like bones and
bones and teeth, blood.
Yeah, and there's like a fucking sexy bitch there with like the horns.
It's like one big sexy bitch, and you're like, wait, is that? And then, but it's revealed later. We'll get to that. But we're like, my God, she looks really familiar. But I guess that's the devil.
Right.
Connor points to the pictures and goes, I was there. The glue took me there.
Holy shit. This is quite a development. Yeah. And like Ashley Simpson goes back to the hospital and is like, tell me what happened and whatever. And they're like, well, he was technically dead for 2.5 minutes. And she's like, oh, fuck. Tells this to Spencer Pratt. And he's like, what if while he was dead, he visited hell?
Yeah.
He also met like Ashley Simpson's dad and was like, and like had all the details about his life that Ashley Simpson, like, he wouldn't have known. Like, he left Ashley Simpson's mom when she was like super young. So even she didn't know that much about him. But like Connor Barfow knows his military record and his order at Burger King and like all this stuff he never could have known except through supernatural means.
But then Spencer Pratt's like, oh shit, if my son died and went immediately to hell, he must have done something to get him to hell. Because that's what, you know, typically, that's what they said in the big book. They say, you do something bad, you're going to hell.
Yeah, the big book.
The big book.
And he's like going through the big book, and I like this because he like, you know, he licks his finger to turn the pages and everything. He gets to the part with some of the big rules, right?
Big rules.
And it's like, remember how David Letterman had like the top 10 lists?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And there's this one part in the big book where like Moses comes down and he's got his own top 10 list, right? Spencer Pratt starts reading it, and it's like, thou shalt have no other gods before me. And he's like, but wait a minute. There's a flashback, and Connor Barfow is like watching a Justin Bieber video. And it's like, this guy's the fucking best. He's a god to me.
He's the man.
Spencer Pratt reads the next one, and it says, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image. And then they go to like his pre-K class, and they're making like stuff with Play-Doh and stuff, and Spencer's like, oh my God. And then he reads, and it's like, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain.
At preschool, Connor Barfow, he like some kid, Trevor Tarfo.
Another Italian.
Yeah, it's a school for Italian preschoolers. Little meatballs.
But they're not Catholic, because Spencer Pratt's a pastor and he's married, so they're not They're not like Roman Catholic. They're like one of the other things.
Trevor Tarfo tries to steal Connor Barfow's drawing, and Connor Barfow goes, give me that back, god damn you. And everybody goes,
yeah.
And so this is in a flashback. There's a lot of flashbacks.
Yeah, a lot of flashbacks.
There's a big chunk, about 20 minutes of flashbacks.
Right. And mostly it's Spencer Pratt. And at first it seems like it's flashbacks to Spencer Pratt's memories of his son breaking the 10 Commandments, but then he's not in some of the memories, so it doesn't really make sense logically, like how we would be remembering this stuff. How did we find that out? The one part he reads, it's like, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And then it flashes back and they have one of those like day by day calendars and they rip off a day. And then the current day says Sunday on it. Connor Barfo's like touching his penis. And Spencer Pratt's like, hey, you can't be doing that on the Lord's day. And then the next one is honor thy father and mother. And he goes like, Mommy, Daddy, you're not my friends anymore. That's hurtful. And that's not honoring.
That was, if your son said that to you, how would you feel?
He says that to me all the time.
Oh.
He said that to me yesterday. He said, Daddy, you're not my friend anymore.
Whoa.
I'm like, maybe if you could pronounce the word friend, I would take you seriously.
Yeah, for real. Read a book.
Mm-hmm. He does read a lot. He's a very good reader.
Okay, good.
And then there's a part where Spencer Pratt like reads the part that says "Thou shalt not kill," and this one was a bit of a stretch.
Again, of course, this is a flashback. They're going to Hawaii they're on their way to Hawaii for a Disney cruise situation. Mm-hmm. Of course, they have to fly to Hawaii I don't know why they're taking this particular route, but it's all in the flashback. Connor insists on having his favorite peanut butter sandwich. Mm-hmm. And his mom's like, okay, we have a peanut butter. He's like, no, what about for later? And she's like, okay, I'll make 2. He's like, well, what about for later? And she's like, okay. So his mom makes 3 pretty hefty, chunky peanut butter sandwiches, brings them on the plane, which, as we all know now in these modern times, big no-no, because sometimes even a whiff of peanut from a peanut allergic person is death. And so Connor, we see Connor eating one of these sandwiches, peanut butter all over his face, and then we see about 12 rows back, someone, a young man, sort of, oh, my throat feels funny. We understand from that Chekhov's cough.
Right, yeah.
Or whatever.
People don't just happen to cough in movies. They cough to show you that they're going to die soon.
There's a reason for the cough, and it's always fatal. So he without thinking, killed someone because of his, honestly, his gluttony, too, as well, for peanuts.
Oh, yeah, gluttony. That's one of the big ones.
So that was like a double whammy.
Yeah.
And in the movie, Spencer Pratt's thinking about these things and going, oh, he says out loud, yeah, the double whammy is gluttony. That's a mortal sin. And
then they kind of speed through the rest of them where it's like, thou shalt not steal, and it's like him breaking into his neighbor's house and stealing the toy. Thou shalt not bear false witness, and he breaks something and is like, I didn't do it, the doggy did it. And it's like, we already talked about there isn't a dog in the movie, so we know he's lying. And they're like, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house, and thy neighbor's desire thy neighbor's wife or whatever. And then it shows him like, and he's like peeking through the fence, and like his neighbor's wife is like out by the pool and stuff. And he sneaks over and he's like, can I help you put on the sunscreen? And she's like, sure, Connor Barfo. And he starts rubbing her. And he's like, oops. And like unties the top of her bikini. It falls off. And like one thing leads to another. Pretty soon they're going at it. And that's another one of the commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. So that's...
Yeah, he did somehow find a way to commit adultery as a 4-year-old.
But anyway, so now Spencer Pratt knows that this little boy committed all 10 of the big 10.
He did, and he did it all within, seemingly all within like 2 years.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a year even. Sort of coming to the conclusion that if you commit all 10 sins
it's like a punch
under
card.
A year, then like you're going to hell no matter how old you are or innocent you may seem.
So what basically Spencer Pratt is like, let's find the silver lining here about my kid going to hell. It's like, now we learned a lot of new information about hell. And he has the whole campaign that's like the punch card campaign. It's like, you better not hit all 10 or you're going to hell. And then he's like, I'm publishing the brand new testament. And it's like, Connor Barfo is like one of the key figures in it. And yeah, it's like he's going on like a worldwide tour with this like punch card theory thing. Meanwhile, Connor Barfo can still tell when anyone needs to shit. We learn that he like made a deal with the devil right? And he tells his mommy one night, and it's like, when I met the pretty lady in the hot place, she said she made me a deal. And so they made it, and the deal is basically like he could come back to life with like supernatural powers. Oh, and this is when we finally see who's playing the devil, and it's Liz Hurley. And that's when we realize this is in the Bedazzled universe.
This is in the Bedazzled verse, which, like of course.
Remember when you watched Split, when James McAvoy was in it, and it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, and at the very, very end, Bruce Willis is there, and he's playing his character from Unbreakable, and you're like, oh, fuck, this is in the Unbreakable universe. So this is how, it's a lot like that, where all of a sudden you realize Hell is for Real is in the Bedazzled universe, and God willing, there will be a third movie where like Brendan Fraser meets Connor Barfow, etc.
Or Brendan Fraser's character from The Whale.
Oh yeah,
he ascends into heaven.
He's on his way to heaven, and maybe he takes a U-turn.
He takes a U-turn. They say, actually, no, you actually can't fit here because you're the whale.
Right, he was too big.
He was too big, unfortunately, for the pearly gates, which, that's problematic in its own way. But yeah, and then
when that movie, The Whale, came out, did you go to Capriati's to have the whale meal where it was 2 meatball subs?
Oh, no, what is that?
Yeah, Capriati's had like the tie-in menu for The Whale, and it's like the whale meal, and it was 2 meatball subs.
Is that true?
It was a bargain. No.
Oh.
Everything else on this show is true.
Could happen.
Yeah. It should have. Oh yeah. So anyway, Liz Hurley made this deal with Connor Barfow, and she's like, all right, Connor Barfow, I will send you back to Earth with supreme powers, any power you want. And he goes, I want to be able to know when people have to go shit. And she's like, I will grant you this wish if you will spread the word of Satan amongst the people of Earth. And that's why Connor Barfow was really sent back to Earth, is to like spread Satan's ministry.
I mean, at some point it becomes like Spencer Pratt, the father, against his own son, like good versus evil. The only way Spencer Pratt could figure out how to like get the devil out of his son is to die himself and go to hell to fight Liz Hurley.
Right. So there is a part where he's like he goes real quick through the 10 commandments, make sure he busts all of them. He sleeps with his neighbor. He kills his own wife and everything. And so he goes to hell, but he's Liz Hurley, beautiful woman.
Beautiful.
Irresistible. So he falls for her, and he ends up staying in hell as sort of a Prince Regent of hell. Then Connor Barfow wins.
Well, he sort of wins, but he also loses. Like he's garnered
orphan.
All this fame. Yeah. He's an orphan, but he's garnered all this fame from like knowing when people have to shit and having seen hell, and so like there's quite a strong cult around like the Connor Barfow cult. Mm-hmm. So they take care of him. So these weirdos, sort of like gothy kind of Satanist people, take him in, and he's treated like a king. He's like when they pick a new Dalai Lama kind of situation.
And it's probably not the best thing for a little boy.
It's not.
Kind of spoiled.
And at the end you see, or like toward what we think is the end, this is not as fulfilling as it should be. I wonder why. And then he has more flashbacks of his family. He's got a flashback of his mom making sand art. He's got a flashback of Spencer Pratt at the pulpit going, and if you are gay, you are going to hell. And Connor is like, thinks that's funny because it's not true. It's just if you kill someone with a peanut, you go to hell.
So this is kind of a good message. It's like you could have everything in the world and still not be fulfilled, not have a fulfilling life.
He has everything you could possibly want. The ability to know when someone's gonna take a shit. All these like cool like Satanist guys with like tattoos, like, and they got your back. So you have like an awesome posse, of really weird, cool guys.
And like Emerald's his personal chef.
Emerald is his personal. He got Emerald.
Yeah.
He also got like a Skechers sponsorship out of that, I believe.
Oh yeah. And it's like, and then it's like the Barfos. It's like the new Barfos are dropping, and you gotta get, but like rappers and stuff are into Barfos now.
Yeah, and then like skateboarders sort of pick up on Barfo, and then that starts a whole new like Supreme puts out a Barfo line.
He takes the stage at the very end after all the flashback where he realizes like life was better when it was just him and his mom and dad, and he goes,
notice today when you're telling yourself I'll be happy when, or I can't be happy because, we usually blame our feelings on our circumstances, our health, our income, how others treat us. But people find ways to be content in the worst conditions and miserable in the best. True contentment lies in the opening to your life just as it is. It can start right now, exactly where you are. And then he fucking grabs his bodyguard's gun, puts it in his mouth, and blows himself away. And that way he can be with mommy and daddy in hell. And it's real nice.
That was like a nice scene when we go to hell. Like he's greeted by everybody. Ronald Reagan, his whole family. Weirdly, Mitch McConnell is in it, even though like he just makes like a cameo, and we're supposed to be like, oh, that's kind of funny, sort of like a little Nicky style joke.
He goes, I'll be back in 12 years, and then he disappears.
Yeah, and we're like, okay. He gets invited to Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch in hell.
Yeah, he like recreated it, only better.
Only like so much better, so many more animals and like
animals that are extinct now because they're only available in hell. There's like dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, because they went to hell because they were like too weak to survive.
Yeah.
And so then that is also added to the new the brand new testament.
Yeah, it's like
that thou shalt not be a little bitch.
I break the little bitch commandment daily. But it's cool because the movie ends with like a Michael Jackson concert, basically.
Yeah, that was so cool. And I'm like, how did they get? He looks so. This is pre-AI. It's
like when people took the art of prosthetic makeup seriously.
Yeah,
and
it
looks
looks
because
so
it's not obviously
real.
Michael Jackson had passed by this point. It's the guy from a Goofy movie who sings "Eye to Eye."
Oh,
and it's that guy.
Wow, that's that guy.
It's that guy, and he's playing Michael Jackson, and he sings
again. I gotta
like,
look at the
"Welcome
credits.
to Hell," and it's real awesome.
I liked the movie. I thought it had like a great message and it was super entertaining. I just thought it was a little long. I just think 4 hours is like a little long.
Yeah.
What did you think of that after credits scene?
Oh, I was in the bathroom, as you'll remember.
I was
Connor Barfo might as well have pointed at me and said, you got to take a shit, because I had to take a shit. What was the after credit scene?
Well, it's funny you say that because the after credit scene was just him like breaking the fourth wall, like on the side of the screen. Like one side is the screen is the credits and the other side is like you see him pointing at us, the audience, and he says, "You gotta shit. You gotta shit. Oh, you really gotta shit." And you like, I can't believe you missed that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How'd they do that?
I don't know. Some movies I feel like really get in your subconscious. Maybe I don't know. Like on this podcast, do you rate the movies?
No, but let's do it.
How many commandments would you give this?
I would say this gets 6.5 commandments. How about you?
That's pretty good. I think I'm gonna go the same. 6.5 commandments. Spencer Pratt wasn't bad, but it's good that he didn't continue acting.
Ashley Simpson was superb. I didn't know she had it in her.
Yeah. That I actually heard this on like I think on like an A24 podcast or something that Amy Adams was the voice of Ashley Simpson's character, and Ashley Simpson, like it was pre-recorded. Ashley Simpson lip synced.
I didn't know that Ashley Simpson would ever consider being involved with a lip syncing type performance, but that's interesting.
Yeah, no, super random. She did it really well, and there was only one part that was kind of weird, but she like you could tell like she like maybe forgot one of the words.
Yeah, and then she kind of danced around, and it was so adorable that you kind of let it slide, right? Well, thanks so much for picking out that movie. I loved it. is a true 6.5 out of 10 commandments. Do you have anything you'd like to promote? I mentioned you have your show Solid at UCB on Tuesday nights.
Solid at UCB, the UCB Annex, right around the corner from UCB. And I also have a podcast where I'm a co-host on the podcast Quarators, where we go on the website Quora.com and talk about the weird shit over there. And yeah, just find me on the web, ClareO'Kane.com. Clare is O'Kane on Instagram.
And I'll link to that kind of shit in the description so people can click on it.
Yeah, click it. That'll be great.
The end.
The end. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Forgotten Video Store. Tell your friends about this podcast and rate and review. And don't forget to follow the show on your podcast app, because next week I've got an episode covering the biopic of a real historical figure. The guy in Pompeii who used his final moments before the Mount Vesuvius eruption to crank one out. He's real! Look it up! Forgotten Video Store is a slop-free zone. We never use any AI for any part of the production of this podcast. The music in this episode is Funky Energy Loop by Kevin MacLeod in Compotech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Okay, bye!